Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining. I am Luca Fidao, a senior software developer at Antemotion, and today I will present to you our automatic generation pipeline for 3D environments. But first, let me introduce our company. We are a joint venture of leading companies in the automotive simulation field. We are based in Europe, but we have distributors all around the world. Development and validation of ADAS and EV vehicles is mainly about training and validation. However, this requires a lot of different scenes and scenarios. Creating 3D real worlds for this use case is a real issue, as creating this amount of assets and environments is very costly. This is where Antemotion steps in. We provide a pipeline that addresses these needs. We can create real road networks with complex intersections, junctions, ramps, multi-lane roads, and so on. And from them, we can create high-quality 3D environments completely automatically, which are perfectly aligned with the road networks. We also provide a photorealistic real-time rendering engine with real-time capabilities and has also features for driver in the loop and training and validation. Our approach is automation first. This means that we completely automate the creation of the 3D environments. This allows you to reduce the creation time of the scenes and the training data, and it simplifies the process. This automation over manual editing also requires little to no skills in both 3D editing and OpenDRIVE and road knowledge. Our pipeline includes 3 softwares: MAZE, that turns HD maps to OpenDRIVEs; Procedural Worlds, which turns those OpenDRIVEs into detailed 3D simulation environments. And then we have MIDGARD, which is an open framework render engine based on Unreal Engine 5.6 that allows you to reproduce scenarios on those environments and to test radars and cameras. Starting from your favorite map provider, MAZE can produce an ASM OpenDRIVE, which is a widely used standard, used in many other instances and softwares. MAZE does a merging of multiple data sources, so you can include multiple providers in the same generation. Procedural Worlds then takes any ASM OpenDRIVE file, produced by MAZE or not, and then creates an OpenUSD or an Unreal Engine 5.3 level. Unreal Engine is a widely known game engine that is also very much used for rendering engines and other real-time tests. And OpenUSD is another universal descriptor scene, which is another standard that is also widely supported by other game engines, by other rendering engines, and so on. MIDGARD then is the last step of our pipeline, which takes as input an OpenUSD or an Unreal Engine level, and then renders it in real time with a high frame rate, photorealistic graphics, and it is very customizable. Our entire pipeline supports open standards, as you can see. You can use just one of those softwares to suit your needs, and then fit it in your own toolchain. MAZE is the first software, as we've seen. It turns here HD maps into ASM OpenDRIVE files. The generation is completely automated. You can select real road networks and then apply data fusion on multiple sources to create a complete OpenDRIVE with buildings, lanes, complex junctions, and so on. We also apply lots of automated data enhancements to provide road continuity, to fix elevation where needed, to add automatically road markings. We also smooth junction surfaces and fix lane links and other traffic logic. MAZE is already available as a software as a service, so you don't need to pay upfront to use it and to test it. We can also provide here HD Maps credentials to get you started quickly. MAZE comes with a friendly user web interface. You just have to draw the desired area on the map with a polygon or rectangle. Then you can configure a list of hyperparameters. For example, you can choose if you want to render the buildings, poles, traffic lights, road markings, and so on, and which kinds of roads you want to generate, urban, highway, and so on. And then you generate. Until now, you don't need to pay anything. After the generation, we provide an online viewer where you can review the output OpenDRIVE in a 3D display that you can see in the slide below. And if you like the result, you can purchase and download the result. In the slide, you can see an example of an area in Chicago that was generated in a few minutes. And below is the result. We support buildings taken, in this case, from OpenStreetMaps. And then we create and maintain road geometries and lane logic and connections. Our latest advancements in MAZE are supporting SD maps. They are already available in alpha stage, but they are currently in active development. We can support different data sources. SD maps generation allow our users to have lower costs of generation, and the SD maps provide a wider region coverage. However, they are a bit less accurate than HD maps. In this slide, you can see an example where we generated the same junction in Munich from here HD maps on the right and SD maps on the left. Obviously, the HD maps result has way more details, also with other lane objects, also barriers and so on. But the SD maps still provided a very good result, and the lane, the road network is pretty much maintained, and it's still very much usable for simulations. Procedural Worlds is the second software in our pipeline. It turns ASAM OpenDRIVEs into realistic 3D environments. The generation is, again, completely automatic and takes minutes. The output is real-time simulation ready, and the output is perfectly matched to the input OpenDRIVE. The road network is generated, and then the environment is enriched with georeferenced terrain. We also add tunnels and bridge infrastructure automatically. We have buildings from the OpenDRIVE, and then we also add contextual dressing. For example, here you can see an example from a junction in San Francisco that we generated, again, with Procedural Worlds, where also like sound barriers and like gantries and poles are added automatically. Also with bridges, the pylons are all generated. The outputs are, as I said before, Unreal Engine levels, or we provide OpenUSD to provide a wider coverage for other tool chains, for other rendering engines, so you can fit the outputs of Procedural Worlds in any of your tools. This is another example that we generated with Procedural Worlds. This is a smaller section of the OpenDRIVE that you saw before from MAZE. This is generated in Chicago. And the output, the roads are perfectly aligned, also the shape of the buildings. As you can see in the pictures below, Procedural Worlds supports a variety of different environments. We can generate from urban environments or highway. Procedural Worlds also provides custom logic to automatically generate sidewalks. The one that you see in the bottom picture are completely automatically generated depending on the context, how wide is the road, where it's placed, and so on. And you can also configure a customizable grammar to pick and choose what kinds of sections you need in the road. For tunnels and bridges, we also automatically add the pylons, barriers, lights, fans, and so on. So the output is already pretty realistic and ready for simulations. MIDGARD is the last step of our pipeline. It is an open framework render engine for visualization and simulation. It is based on Unreal Engine 5.6. It is It has many features for real-time tendering, and it provides hardware, software, and driver-in-the-loop support in applications. It is fully featured for ADAS and AV simulations. With MIDGARD, you can generate automatically datasets for training of AI models, and you can also generate ground truths. We offer a segmentation filter, for example, which is pixel perfect and allows you to generate data for training. It is also very customizable. You can change the environmental conditions on the fly. You can modify the aspect of the asphalt, of the barriers, and other road props. And it supports open standards for custom plugins. For example, you can plug in any sensors or cameras that you may want. It also supports a lot of different scenario simulators. For example, we support VTD, Virtual Test Drive, and ES Mini. But MIDGARD is based on ASAM OSI, so any scenario simulator that you may have that supports that standard is also compatible, but we can also work with any protobuf interface that you may have. Our automatic generation pipeline is roughly 100 times faster than manually creating those environments, and it does not require any OpenDRIVE and 3D modeling skills. This allows our users to spend time on testing and not on asset creation for generating datasets. In this slide, you can see an example of a section of the A7 Italian highway that we generated automatically with procedural worlds. This is just a picture of a 20-kilometer sections that we generated in under 20 minutes. The roads are perfectly taken from an input OpenDRIVE, and the terrain is taken from NASA and then matched to the road elevation. Let's summarize what we've seen. We provide an open pipeline that connects with your existing toolchain that allows for easy and fast scene generation. It turns HD maps into simulation-ready environments without requiring user interaction. This is allowed by MAZE, which turns HD maps into OpenDRIVEs, procedural worlds, which turn the OpenDRIVEs into 3D simulation environments, and MIDGARD, which is our render engine based on Unreal Engine 5.6. All these tools are already available today. You can scan our QR codes to check out demos, more information, and more. Or you can come check them out at our booth, at booth 5. Thank you for your attention. If you have any answers,